Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Let's get after it.
So if you didn't know, Elon Musk launched another SpaceX rocket today. And I personally believe him and other entities are trying to break the firmament. And as wild as this sounds, I believe this whole SpaceX thing is the new version of the Tower of Babel. Humans have always tried going extra measures with tons of stuff. And if you don't know what the Tower of Babel is, it was basically humans trying to build a tower so high that it would reach the heavens. They're literally doing the same thing with this whole SpaceX shit. Let's watch this rocket explode on the firmament real quick. I fast forwarded. That was a huge explosion. And I personally believe that the explosion looks like this because there's water above the firmament. The firmament separates the waters from above from the waters below. So this is the three-story universe. The sun and moon is inside the firmament, and above the firmament you have the ocean of heavens, and above the ocean of heavens you have the heaven of heavens.
On Operation Fishbowl, nuclear detonations rent the sky 5 times over the Johnston Island.
The video I just showed you was the actual operation that went by the name Operation Fishbowl, and they sent high altitude weapons in the sky trying to break the firmament. So this has been going on. It's just that Elon Musk has brought it back. And if you ask me, this explosion and this explosion looks similar. And it's so wild to me how America is a Christian country, but tells people that the earth is a globe, when clearly it says in their own Bible in Genesis that there's a firmament above us, and the firmament separates the waters from the waters. I ain't gonna say too much about that, but just ponder on that contradiction. We're in the age of Aquarius and the truth is being revealed. Revelations, the great reveal, the lifting of the veil. Comment and let me know what y'all think about this video.
I'm going to have to push back on this. If SpaceX were the new Tower of Babel, then the U.S. federal government would be behind them 100% because they're the most corrupt organization that's ever existed, in my opinion. But instead, they are actively trying to deplatform Elon Musk. They're trying to, they're advocating for advertisers to stop advertising on X. They're giving out discounts and rebates and stuff to help people buy electric cars, but they're not doing it for Tesla, the most famous electric car manufacturer that exists. Yeah, there's no way.
The most powerful storm to have ever hit Mexico's Pacific coast has just passed, and footage of the aftermath is absolutely mind-blowing. Videos from the 21st floor of a beachfront hotel in Acapulco show apocalyptic scenes, while the man recording says in disbelief this cannot be possible. Other videos show tennis courts covered in debris, hotels and skyrises completely stripped of their exterior, and boats in absolute ruins along a coastline that was battered by 160-mile-per-hour winds. This is the before and after image of a brand new $130 million luxury high-rise in Acapulco. But the wildest part about this storm is the reason you probably didn't even know that it happened. Since seeing the Category 5 hurricane make landfall, forecasters and meteorologists are baffled at how they did not see it coming. The city of 1 million people were warned that it would just be a tropical storm, but the usually reliable computer models failed to predict its explosive intensification from a Category 1 to a Category 5 in just 12 hours. And then after it hit, all the power, internet service, and communication is being down. So we haven't been able to see the full extent of the destruction until now. At least 27 people have been killed. 80% of the city's hotels and all the power lines have been destroyed. And even the airport's control tower has been torn apart. There are still so many unanswered questions about this, but of course, as we know more, I'll keep you guys updated.
I don't even know how you come back from something like that. When your city is that destroyed, how do you rebuild? I mean, where would you even start? You got massive cleanup, and then, I mean, you're just sitting on a blank slate. It's insane. I feel so horrible for those people.
Do you know why Prince, the famous rock star that was a friend of mine, do you know why he called himself the artist when he came back? He calls himself the artist because that's what they call us in our contracts. Oh, these contracts are crazy. You should hear the terminology they say in these contracts. To use your name and likeness in perpetuity throughout the universe. Who the fuck could possibly know what that means? Nobody does.
Do you agree with what he is saying? Could there be a darker side to these contracts that these artists sign, or is Dave Chappelle making it up? TikTok, this is for entertainment purposes only.
It's so complicated, in fact, that when you're a kid like me, you have to hire somebody to tell you what that means. And you sit down at a table and you do the contract game. And that's how I got with Comedy Central. I signed a contract. But I signed the contract the way that a 28-year-old expectant father that was broke signs a contract. I was desperate. I needed a way out, and it wasn't good money, and it wasn't good circumstances, but what else am I going to do, I said. And all these white people sitting at that table told me, trust us, Dave, it's a good contract. And I looked around the table, and they all seemed to agree it was a good contract. But what if it was like that game of three-card Monte? What if they were all friends and I didn't know it?
Dave Chappelle has always kind of, since he left Comedy Central, had his finger on the pulse of what's going on in Hollywood with all the corruption. And I mean, he's been warning us for years. I don't have any reason to disbelieve anything that he says.
Well, guess what? UFOs are bad news. Deal with it. They just are. The UFO phenomenon has a hive mind, okay? These creatures they potentially don't have souls. They're like clones. And they worship their own technology to some degree. You have shows like Ancient Aliens and every other thing out there that's coming up with these bizarre ideas that aliens built everything. And now people are not, or now people are, for a lack of a better term, worshiping aliens. Aliens built everything. Aliens made us. Aliens are the gods. Aliens this, aliens that. And I said, that's what happens when there's a vacuum. And it got filled with something that is no good. So we're going to come out of this thinking that aliens are good. And they're not, And at least this one specific race I'm talking about. So, and I call them the bugs. Because, you know why I call them the bugs? Because other people call them the bugs. So, my whole point here is we need something different. Now, if there's a TV show that just talks about, like, events, like this happened and there's some questions about it, that's one thing. But when there's a TV show, when it sits down and it's just glorifying, abstract ideas that aliens are responsible for everything.
Right.
Just because it's filling the hour and people are trying, that's bad. That's bad news. This is a real topic. How it was told to me, the universe is teeming with life. Okay? Teeming. Not just like, hey, we might find a little bit over here and there. Teeming. You have intelligences at all different levels on different planets. You have organic intelligence, which is like human beings, lots of humans, super advanced humans, superhumans with telepathic powers, and some humans that are just like us, some humans that are cavemen. You also have inorganic beings. You have beings that are on rock planets and gas planets that oxygen's poisonous to them, right? You also have weird bands of light that are alive, that swim like worms in the vacuum of space, the way a whale does in an ocean. Okay? Sure. You have amoebas that are floating around sucking up energy.
I really hope Tom DeLonge is not as crazy as he sounds, because his explanation of things sounds so cool, and he's so passionate about it. You want to believe him, but you don't know what information he's running off of. He could be getting bad information. I mean, he is just the singer of Blink-182. I don't know how serious these government officials and stuff that he talks to really take him. Hey, if you're enjoying this video, I make a new one just like it every single day. It would be awesome if you would hit that subscribe button and come back tomorrow to join me.
You see that map of the world behind you right up there? Take all the lines between all the countries, erase them. Because the organization who is running this operation is transnational, not international, transcends those boundaries. But we have operations in Mexico, out at Fort Huachuca. There's a DUM, a deep underground military base storage area there. Has a man on my team who was there in the 70s. There were 9 extraterrestrial vehicles that were stored there, and dead extraterrestrial bodies that had been dissected and autopsied. Many of those had been pulled out of Latin America or Mexico and brought back and were moved across borders. The CIA document talks about going across the border into Brazil and Argentina, conducting on innocent civilians for their psychological warfare value. So these operations are not restricted to the United States, nor have the downing and retrieval of these objects been restricted.
That sounds to me like Dr. Greer's just saying that the U.S. government ignores all other countries' wishes whenever they are doing these secret black op missions in regards to UFOs and aliens and stuff. Not surprising at all. For some reason, the United States thinks that it is better than everybody else. And I mean, don't get me wrong. I love my country. I'm proud to be an American citizen. I just think it's going down the toilet. Whenever I say anything bad about our country, I'm talking specifically about the government, not the country or the people in it.
James, that guy whose house blew up?
Oh, yeah.
The story is that he was like shooting flares. Cops show up. They drive the SWAT car through his wall. The house blows up and they're like, he died. And then he's like, I'm not dead. The comments, he's like, I'm not dead.
What?
He said, they're trying to kill me.
Who?
Apparently he was head of security for CFIUS.
Committee of Foreign Investment in the United States.
He was like making claims like, they've already killed my mother. They're trying to kill me.
Why are we blowing up houses, though?
They're not even being discreet about it.
That's my thing. It's like
that one that blew up the other house next to it. They said it was because of the water heater.
How possible is that?
that can't be possible.
Yeah, because everybody checks the pressure gauge on their water heater.
Yeah, every day.
We don't do that.
What? You
I
don't?
check it every day.
What are you guys
hold
trying
on,
to do right now?
you've never checked the
I
pressure.
check it literally every day.
No,
What do you do?
Yes, I do.
When you
Lil.
walk past it, you just walk
Whenever I'm
past
going
it.
in and getting water, I check it.
Nobody does that.
No, we don't check. We don't check it.
Thank you for running with that.
You're just yelling at
That wasn't even like a fun gaslighting. It was like getting aggressive. You love your kid?
You're so selfish.
So this is the first that I'd heard of the guy actually saying, like, leaving a comment saying, hey, I'm still alive and they're trying to get me. So I threw it in here because of that. If anyone has any links to any other videos that they could send me that give us further details on that, drop it down in the comments for me. I'd greatly appreciate it. I'm going to do some more digging and see what I can find on this, and we'll have some more in there probably, hopefully tomorrow.
Rabies has never been shown to exist, right? But these dogs are getting shots for things that don't exist. Right? When you look at the studies of where rabies originally came from, it was from dogs who were coped up in cages and seeming to have gone mad because they were locked up in cages, and they were saying when they gave them a poke that they were fixed because of that. Think about that. So they have never even shown that rabies is actually existed. Those two books, The Contagion Myth and The Invisible Rainbow, go through every single thing. And as somebody said, yes, cats don't need that either. None of these animals need that. Nature, okay, like, let's just put it there. Nature existed before science, right? Nature was there, like, it was doing its thing. Cats were just roaming around. Or if they were a pet cat, they were in somebody's house and whatever, and they were just being fed, you know, the raw food diets and all these things. Like, they were just doing their thing. Now these animals are getting treated like experiments, right? And they're sticking them with all these things and all these poisons and giving them poisonous foods. And now the animals are having the same ailments as the humans because they're both getting the same types of things.
All right, dude. Mr. Copper Cup, I can kind of follow you on your copper stuff. I can kind of follow you on some of your Tartaria talks, but rabies doesn't exist. You lost me. I've seen animals with rabies. I know for a fact that it exists.
Can I open it?
No! This creepy video comes from Brendan Riley 912. And let me start by saying, his account looks rather normal, and he's even an artist. But in a recent video, he describes how he finds a hidden door behind a wall. Feeling curious, they open that door only to be met with cement blocks. And that's when it goes from lighthearted to serious, because they do make an opening, and it does not go well. Many commenters, myself included, have been asking for updates, but we haven't had word yet. I'll update in a part 2 if I hear back from them. But I don't know about this one. Let me know what you think.
I think that these people just busted into the apartment next door to them and are probably going to have to pay a lot of money for damages to their apartment. Hopefully they're not just renting. That looked creepy to anyone else, that they busted a hole through this into another apartment and the guy in the other apartment's just hanging out on the computer playing video games or sitting on the end of the bed or something. Just, I don't know, it seemed creepy. I'll look and see if there's a follow-up to this, and if no one gets unalived in it, I'll post it on here.
They don't like human beings. In their history, in their teachings, the Andromedans say that they were taught that this universe was here for them, that they were left here and told it was theirs to rule. But when they started traveling, they ran across other races. And they were able to conquer many of those races. And how they've conquered those races was through genetic altering. Now, our government, the United States government, the world government, the New World, whatever you want to call it, wants to implant everybody.
Do you think what he is saying sounds credible or just a bunch of lies made for entertainment? Mind you, this was filmed in the 90s, and it has been almost 30 years since this was filmed. Put your idea in the comments below if this sounds credible or not. TikTok, this is for entertainment purposes only.
Extraterrestrials, they can't be bothered with that stuff. Those are toys. That's not permanent. You can always lose the hand, it can always burn out, you can always die. In extraterrestrials, they don't value gold or silver, they value genetics. So what they do is they will come in, conquer a race, and genetically alter it. And it is the genetics that they put inside these races that alters their frequency, their sound, their thoughts, everything about them. Apparently the Greys were much more human-looking at one time. They, as a race, were captured approximately 893,000 years ago. According to Mornay, the first thing they did was they slaughtered almost all of the women. The reason they do that is to control the birth process. And what they did was they started to genetically alter the women, the females of that race, so that all the children born after that were genetically altered.
So what I'm hearing is fellas, we're going to be all right during the alien invasion. It's just going to be the women that we got to watch out for. So that's a little relieving. Yeah, I don't know where that guy's getting his information. I don't know how accurate anything he's saying is. It sounds like a bunch of hocus pocus. I do agree that the government would love to get us chipped.
So Russia released this calendar for 2024, and it's very eerie to me. It doesn't sit right with me. It almost seems like it's foreshadowing. We're going to go through a few of the pictures. By the way, TikTok is mad at me, so if you see this video on your For You page, let me know in the comments, please. First off, why is there a Russian military right in front of the Capitol? And why does it look like a huge end of America scenario is going on right behind me? And don't forget, Putin has been meeting with Xi all of 2023. In their last meeting, Xi had said that there were changes coming not seen in over 100 years. And with all the world events lately, all the movies coming out and everything geopolitically, this calendar is just very strange. It looks like the bear is in attack mode. And we know that people aren't too fond of the USA right now. Soldier with the cat showing displaced animals where combat would be happening. Here's the US Capitol again, and here is Putin all buffed up and ready to go to war, kind of like that bear was. And as you saw in that tweet, the calendar was released by the Russian feds, and that's actually what the lettering is on this car, the FSB. And this last one's pretty deep, so it's a Russian soldier standing beside Peter the Great. We're about to get into it, and also a medieval bogatire of Russia. I'll show you why it's significant. Peter literally modernized Russia, who was lagging behind the West at the time, and really just rebirthed a great society in Russia. But let's see the other one real quick. So here's that medieval warrior, and it said they fought against like the Tartarian Empire, or the ones that opposed them, and slaying a dragon. So we have Peter the Great showing great rebirth of Russia. We have the bear in attack mode, capital overthrown, him slaying the dragon. Something's about to go down.
Do with that information as you will. It doesn't look like things are shaping up to be a positive 2024 as far as Russia's concerned. Looks like they got some things planned that aren't that exciting for us. Hopefully they just release that as a way to try to intimidate the United States. That wouldn't surprise me at all. But it also wouldn't surprise me if they're just putting their intentions out there.
Speaking of the skies, check what's going on in Russia. I don't know what this is, but this looks huge, y'all. Anybody from Russia, let us know what's going on in the comments, please.
Ебать! Что у нас по домам? Да что дома нахуй его? Еще ты сидит. Так а шо, ебать, шо по домам, нахуй?
Yeah, I don't know what Russia got going on, but it looks serious. There's literally a war in the heavens and earth in Russia. Damn, what is going on, y'all? But y'all see that? Can that be? Is that like lightning? Lightning striking down plasma? It don't look like smoke, y'all. But look what's emerging out of there. Look at that. What is going on? What is that? Please let us know in the comment. Share this video, y'all. Share this video. We gotta know what's going on here.
This looks to me like something got bombed that was explosive and is just causing a lot of damage, just lighting up the night sky. That's a fascinating video, though. It's clearly real. You could tell based off of the reactions of the people, unless they're just phenomenal actors. But I mean, they're in the middle of it with Ukraine right now, so seeing something like this come out of there is not really that surprising.
These beings told me that they changed me. They told me that the way they put it in my head, when I say told me, they don't really talk. They put images that you know. It's just telepathic, I guess you could say. But it made me understand that the whole world is alive. Everything from the grass to every single animal, bird, tree, all had a consciousness. They even put images into me of the cells in the body, like within the human body. You don't tell your body what to do. Something outside of us is telling our body how to function. The molecules, each cell that divides from one cell to the other has a conscience. So I'm just a part of that. I can't get the words out I want to say, but it just changed me in such a way that I began to cry about everything. I've cried for the last 7, 8, 10 years, I guess, about everything. When I see something get hurt, it just kills me. But it came from that experience with these beings on how they told me how everything's a living consciousness, and I don't have the right to take its life. That we live in a mutualistic way. Like your stomach, for example. You have bacteria in your stomach that digest chlorophyll, plant material. The human can't do it, but this bacteria does. And it secretes the nutrients that you get from that plant. And it survives because you're feeding it the plant material, right? So it's a mutualistic way we live. And it's like a tree gives you wood for a house. It gives you shade for the sun, a nest for a bird, oxygen to breathe, and the list goes on. So everything has a part of life on this planet, and it's not up to us to destroy it and abuse it.
And there you go. This right here is what the aliens want. They want to give us all empathy. I hope that's what their end game is just make us all love each other more and be more compassionate towards one another. Unfortunately, that's probably not the case. If that were the case, I think that they would just be here spreading messages of joy and love. But instead, they're abducting people and killing cattle. So but we're going to leave it right there on a good note, and we'll pick it back up with the next video tomorrow, everybody. I hope you enjoyed these clips that I found for you. In regards to the question that I asked everyone yesterday about the Emerald Tablets book, I actually found it and ordered a copy. It'll be here on Monday. So thank you to all those who told me to go look on Amazon. I appreciate that. Come back and see me tomorrow. I'll be here with a new video waiting on you. Have a great, safe, happy day. I will see you tomorrow.